Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a violin tutorial for Kiss the Rain. The sheet music is available on my Patreon page and will be linked directly underneath this video. So there are two versions of this, an easier version and an advanced version. So I have kept this in the original key with 4 flats, and what you will notice, that means that everything is going to be back. So on the E string you've got F naturals, so they're going to be back, your second fingers are going to be here, your third fingers for A are going to be slightly back as well, and for any B flats they're going to be just over where the dot is. On the A string your first finger is going to be back. Your second finger is going to be normal position, but next to the first finger dot. Your third finger is going to be slightly back, and your fourth finger is just going to be sitting over the dot. On the D string, your first finger is going to be back as well. Your second finger is going to be in the same position as the others, and the third finger for G is also going to be normal as well on the dot, and your fourth finger for A flat is going to be just above where your third finger would go. So what I'm going to do is go through the advanced version first, so for any of you that wanted to play it up high. So I've already put some finger numberings in, so you can follow those. So the first one is going to be, so you're going to be going up into third position. So I'll assume that you guys that are following the advanced version know that you're going to be going into third position. So you're going to be going from a back 1 to an A flat, which is the second finger. So I move back to a second finger there, and then you're back up again for the 1. Back down into first position. So this part here is where we're going an octave higher. So it's all written down in kind of first position, if you like, but I've put an AVA above it because it's going to be going all the way up here, and to actually write those notes up here is just, it's too much, you can't really see it. So from that measure, from that bar, so stretch that third finger up. You can't use a 4 because it's just a bit awkward. It's not quite as easy to slide up. Then following the finger. So the fingers are going to be sort of all crunched in together, and what you might want to do is have your thumb sort of on the neck. So usually you'd have your thumb by the side of the neck, but you'll want to probably have your thumb so it's more kind of in the middle, so it's moved around so you can reach your hand up. You can get quite a good leverage if you have your thumb up on the neck. It's just sort of in that kind of crook of the neck that you've got there. I moved down on that F, for that F natural there. You might notice that you can hear a lot of sliding going on. That's absolutely fine. I think it's all part of the piece, rather than making it clean. Sounds a bit too clean, whereas, so what you want to do is, so you're keeping that finger down, and then sort of just lifting it up just before you get to that A. So actually I lift it up just maybe when I get to about an F natural-ish. There isn't kind of an exact science with this. You don't want to make it sound, like that. Just a little kind of, it just gives it a little bit more of a stylistic approach there. So that kind of repeats, that pretty much repeats again, that section. So then you've got, so that was up to bar or measure 15, then 16 we're in third position. Then we move down to so I move down into second position there with the 2 3s on an F and an E. It just means that you avoid crossing strings with awkward fourth fingers. And then you're back to doing. And that really is just the same fingering all the way through, because the whole thing just repeats again. Then when you get to the key change at 55, 56, bar 56 or measure 56, you're doing exactly the same thing, but everything's just gone up a semitone or half step. So the fingering is exactly the same, you're just up a half step. So really, in truth, it shouldn't really make any difference. Okay, if you're just doing the regular version of this without going up into silly position all the way up here, then I would probably just stick to using fourth fingers. Actually not too bad. It seems quite awkward using the fourth fingers, but actually I think it plays really, really well. You are going to have to use fourth fingers because there is no other option. You can't use open strings, obviously, because the key that we're in. And also, I think the only other option would be to go into different positions, but then that kind of defeats the object of keeping it easy, doesn't it? If you're if you're having to then try and work out moving into positions. And I think something like this, you'll be going up and down into first position, second, third, second, first. I think it will be too many movings of positions. So I would stay the same. And I think that's pretty much it with this tutorial. I mean, when you get to 60, have some jumpings with some string crossings because you are keeping it in first position, but I mean you can just ever so slightly stop the bow. You've got to rest there anyway. Just be careful not to drag the bow across the strings. So again, I don't think you have really much of a choice if you're not going to go into different positions with this. But I mean, you can feel free to experiment. And then when you get to, so the rest of it is a repeat, then when you get to the key change, just do a little fourth finger there at 59, 4, stretch the 4, back to 4, so there at the key change we're in A major, and you can do open E's and open A's if you want to. I still did a couple of fourth fingers just because it avoids string crossing. So for example, at 62, you've got, now I'm on an E string, and then my next note is on the D string. Now, I don't really want to do that because I don't want to do a string crossing. So if I keep the E as a fourth finger there, I'm just on the next string down and I don't have to do string crossings. So if you want to do open E's, do open E's, or open A's, but only do fourth fingers if it avoids a string crossing, say from the E string all the way to the D string. And there we go. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial. All the links to this and the sheet music will be directly underneath this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.